And we are live. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It is Chosen Wisdom Football, a channel for the football purists, a channel for the critical thinkers, for the people who like to talk football. Big up yourself. I am a Manchester United fan and today we have the latest Manchester United news for you guys, all wrapped up in one place so you don't have to go and find the news yourself, guys. I have some transfer news to get through. Are Manchester United about to bid for Lucien Agome? That is the hot topic of today. A lot of journalists are talking about Agome and linking Man United to a bid for Agome. We're going to look at that player, look at all the reports, and also on this channel we're going to decide if he's good enough. How good is this player? We're going to talk about it on today's show. Also, there are rumors that Man United are linked to Camavinga. I don't buy it, guys, but there is rumors out there that we are linked to that player, so we can also see where those rumors are coming from. There's news on Anthony, people, updates on Anthony. New developments are expected, and there has been news from Betis regarding their interest in Anthony and what they have proposed to Manchester United. So we're going to talk about that as well. Apparently, they want joint ownership of Anthony. That's what Betis want. Yeah, guys, this is 2025. And Real Betis want joint ownership of a football player. We're going to get into it, guys. We're going to get into it. Also on today's show, we have confirmation that Xerxes isn't going anywhere. There has been clubs in for Xerxes this summer, have asked about him, but Manchester United have categorically said he is not for sale. So that's just further reiteration on Amorim and the club's stance on Xerxes. We also have news. Apparently Napoli are in for Højlund. Napoli are looking at Højlund and they've had direct club to club contact about the player. So that's something also we can talk about. And last but not least, we have a Casemiro analysis of the game. Casemiro has spoken to the media. I think you guys will be quite interested to find out what he had to say about the Arsenal game. So like I said, today is going to be a quick show. Today we got Agome. We're going to talk about Agome, look at the links, apparent links from Man United to Agome. Are we going to buy him? We're going to talk about what kind of player he is. Does he fit in? Is he a good replacement for Bleba? Will he even get into the first team? We're going to talk about Agome on this channel. We're going to talk about the Camavinga links, or maybe just breeze past the Camavinga links, to be honest, because I don't believe them. Anthony developments, Xerxes stuff, Højlund and Napoli stuff, Casemiro analysis, and also, guys, I have finished, or should I say I have completed my tactical analysis video of the Arsenal and Manchester United game, which is up on my channel right now. So if you guys, after this stream, just have a quick look at the video, watch the video. It's only 20 minutes long. I usually watch these kind of videos on like 1.25 speed anyway. So after this stream, guys, if you could go over and just have a quick look at my tactical analysis video, that will be very much appreciated. I hope the chat is doing well. Big up the chat always. First and foremost, Turkish in the chat, Soulful Kel and British Bulldog, and much more in the chat. Big up British Bulldog, Soulful Kel, Turkish. Big up everyone in the chat. I hope you guys are feeling good. It is Tuesday, one day away from hump day. Almost halfway through the week already. We're almost at Saturday. We're almost at the weekend, people. And another game we will be witnessing. So like I said, guys, check out my tactical analysis video after this session. But here we go, people. Who the hell, you're asking, is Lucien Agome? Now, Lucien Agome is not a name that I'm aware of him, but I didn't watch him before today. I've taken a deep dive in getting to know the player, his attributes, what he's about, what he's good at, what he's not good at. A crash course, so to speak, in Agume. But before we talk about the player, let's look at the news. What are the links? Who is saying what about Agume? How are we linked to the player? What kind of fee are we looking at if this is true? So let's see who the journalists are. As you guys can see on screen, and yes guys, it is Indicalia, who've been hit and miss, who've been first when it comes to a lot of news, and they've been right, but they've also been wrong. But so has Fabrizio, so has all the other journalists. So you can take this with a pinch of salt if you want, and I'm going to take this with a pinch of salt unless I see a here we go or see something more concrete. I might do, but there are enough people reporting on this to make me believe that there might be something in it. So let's look at the first story together, people. We've gone, and it says, like I said, from Indicalia, that reports are breaking in France that Manchester United are to bid around 22 to 26 million pounds for Lucien Agome. That was this morning. And then we had another tweet even earlier this morning from another French journalist organization saying that United are prepared, once again the same figure, to bid 22 to 26 million for Lucien Agome. His release clause is 35 million, which Sevilla pointed to. So there are two now reports saying that we're going to bid 22 to 26 million pounds for this player. And with these two reports, other journalists and other channels are running with it. I'm going to say that unless I hear from one of the top journalists that we're in for this player, I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to get excited about this player until I feel like we are seriously in for him. So that's my stance on the player. I have looked at the player, guys. I have looked at the stats. He's decent. And the issue I have, I think, with Agome is that because we've been so heavily linked with Baleba, and Baleba is so good, anyone we'll link to after is going to be, we're not going to feel as excited. The player's not going to be as good. And you're not going to get a buzz. You're not going to get any, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You're not going to get any, no United fans are, I guess excited is the word. I'll use the word, no United fan are excited by any of our midfield links. Because we've dropped off from Baleba. We've come from Baleba and now we're at Lucien Agome. Now, to be fair to the lad, he's more in the mold of a Decore sort of type player and a Onana from Everton. He's more in that mold than he is a Baleba, i.e. he's 6'1", he's quite tall, and he's definitely more of a destroyer, tackle, win the ball and pass it, than he is a Baleba. And I think Baleba is probably closer to like a Yaya Toure. Baleba is closer to a Yaya Toure in the sense that he can actually, he's more of a box-to-box player, Baleba. He's got the technique and the skill to go forward. Agome, he's taller, bigger, probably stronger, but he's less mobile, people. He's not as mobile as I want him to be. His ball carrying is not as good as I'd want it to be. He's not the greatest passer of the ball either. No, short passing, fine. Just like Ugarte. But anything else, he doesn't look that great. He's very physical. He's very strong. Not many players are going to get past him, but he's not very quick, people. He's not very quick. What he is good at is the destructive parts of the game. He's good at destroying, breaking up the play, winning the ball. But for me, Ugarte is decent at that. What Ugarte is not good at is the on the ball stuff, right? He's not good at the on the ball stuff. So I don't understand how this player solves the issues that we have on the ball. And because he's not very quick over the grass, on the grass, I can see him, if we buy this player, being outrun in the Premier League. So I don't know, guys. That's my initial assessment based on this little I have seen. I'm not going to tell you that I've watched loads of games of Agume. I haven't. I've watched some highlights, looked at the scouting reports, watched all of his touches in 2 or 3 games. I've seen what he's about very, very quickly and very briefly. So I'm not going to give you some full analysis because I haven't seen him that much. I haven't. But only based on the little I've seen, just the little I've seen, I think 26 million is probably, his range. I don't think he's worth anything more than that. And because he's only worth, for me, around that much anyway, I'm not too fussed about the fee. I think the fee reflects his level. If they were quoting 40, 50 million, I would say no, we walk away straight away. But because he's 23, he's still young, he can still improve, and he has the physical attributes to be decent in the league. I don't mind. Like I keep saying, he has flaws. I've named his flaws. I don't think he's that great on the ball. And my question, therefore, is, if Ugarte is not that great on the ball, why are we getting another defensive midfield player who's only good at this? Listen, if you're Kante, you can get away with just doing one thing. If you're N'Golo Kante, because you cover so much distance and you have elephant lungs, because Kante has elephant lungs, bro. Like, he runs around like his lungs are 4 times the size, in his body. If you're Kante, you can probably get away with only having just defensive attributes, just being good at winning the ball and tackling and all these things, because you're just the best at it. But in the double pivot, I keep saying, I don't know if you can get away with just being good defensively. That's what we thought we could do with Ugarte. And now that Ugarte, when Ugarte wins the ball back, he can't just pass it 5 yards sideways to another midfielder who's going to do the forward passing for him. Sometimes he's going to have to find a pass, Ugarte. Sometimes he's going to have to look forward and fizz that ball through the line and do a through ball. He's not really that kind of footballer. So replacing him with another baller that doesn't really do that in a 2-man midfield, I don't know, guys. If we had a 3-man midfield where one of them would win the ball back, one of them, was the DM who just played it out from the back and spread the play, and the other one was the attacker mid, fine. We can have all 3 in the individual roles, but we play a 2-man midfield, and both our midfielders need to be very competent on the ball. So I'm not sure, fully sure, but I'm open to it because of the cheapness of the supposed deal, if that makes sense. So I don't know, man. I don't know what people are saying about this. First and foremost, this has to be true. We don't know if this is true yet, so we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. But if it's true, I don't know what you guys are saying about this player. Has anybody in the chat seen this player in the flesh? And if you have, what are you saying? What are his attributes, do you think? What is he good at? What is he not good at? Do you feel like he can be in that double pivot long term for Manchester United? I don't know, people. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what the chat is saying. Big up the chat. Big up TK in the chat. I hope you're doing well, my bro. British Bulldog in the chat. Wendell. Hi, Wendell. Hope you're doing well, Wendell. Not another Ugarte, please no, says Wendell. That's how I'm feeling, bro. I'm feeling that every time I see this guy, all the highlights I see, and I know, guys, you going off YouTube highlights, I know. But when you've got nothing else to go by, then that's what you do, right? And you look at the stats, because I've also done the stats. I've looked at scouting stats. I've compared his stats to Caicedo's stats. I've compared his stats to Casemiro's stats. For a couple of hours, guys, I was doing the work, looking and looking and looking. Do the eye test first. We know the rules, guys. Do the eye test. Watch the player first and foremost, and then you look at the stats and you make sure the stats support what you've seen with your eyes. And I think the stats on this player support what I see with my eyes. British Bulldog says, I must start the bubble car race stand. He's had enough football, says British Bulldog. So that's my thing on you, Agume. I don't know what you guys are saying about this player. I think a lot of United fans are already getting excited and are saying that he's so good and he's amazing and all these things. I want to get him. Like right now, Statman Dave, as you can see, he's posting that he's made 4.7 tackles and interceptions per 90 in La Liga last season, putting him in the top 2% of midfielders. And I'm like, that's good. But Ugarte was getting decent destroyer numbers. Like, we need guys who are also good on the ball. We can't have passengers in our midfield. We can't have somebody who's just good at one thing anymore. I don't know if you can have that. So if you're going to ask me to choose either between him and Hulman from Dortmund, sorry, Sporting, should I say, I'm picking Hulman all day. I'm picking Hulman all day. 100%. So let me know, guys, if you think this player is the right profile for Manchester United. I'm not so sure. I don't want to say write him off, because if we do get him, you know, if I'll back him. If we do get him, because he'll be a Manchester United player, of course I'll back him. But guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm not blown away by this link at all. At all. Wendell says we cannot win titles by buying alternatives. There's a reason why Amorim wants Baleba. That's the issue. Because if you buy this guy, just like a Ugarte, and he doesn't work out in a year or two's time, then we have another player that we need to ship off. That's why, as annoying as it is it best for us just to wait and get the absolute best of the best, i.e. there's no one better we can get apart from this player, which means when we get the player, there's no remorse when we get him. There's no second guessing. There's no, oh, we should have got this player. No, we've got the absolute best DM available in the market. And he's not. This player is not that player. He's not the best DM available in the market. And I feel like if we want to win the Premier League, guys, we have to get the very best that we can get. The very best. That's how you win the league. You don't win the league by adding loads of mediocre players, because we tried to get Baleba. We couldn't get Baleba, so we went to some cheap 25 million. No. We're making the same mistakes of the past, and we're going to be a team full of mediocre players. Mediocre players that we gas up and think they're the world beaters. Think we're going to finish 5th, then we finish 15th again because we think our players are better than they actually are. So, yeah, I'm not really on this too much, but I'm not going to cry if we do get him. I'm not going to be here on stream, people, being angry if we get him, but I just can't get excited over this signing because I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. But let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think about this signing, people. Wendell says Ineos are going cheap again. I think Kamara at Monaco will be a good... I think Kamara at Monaco is a better signing. I think Kamara at Monaco is a better signing than that guy. TK says he's yet another Cameroon-born player at 23 already. Why has he not been noticed by other clubs if he's that good? Why is he at Sevilla? I'm sorry, but he's most likely a downgrade from Ugarte. TK, I'm not even disagreeing with you, bro. I can't see anything you said that's disagreeable. Like, we don't know, but based on what I've seen and based on how I'm feeling, I don't know if he's even going to displace Ugarte. And that's scary. That's scary. When you're looking at a player where you're not even convinced he's going to displace the one player that you want out the team. So what are we doing here? So I hear you, TK. Shivam in the building. Big up, Shivam. Agume can't make progressive plays. He's a CDM. We don't need a CDM. We need players to get ahead and dictate play in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, I'm not somebody who believes that we need just a destroyer. Someone who just breaks up the play and that's it. We don't need one. Ugarte was bought for that reason. We play with 3 centre backs. Our 2 in the midfield need to be workhorses. Need to be, and I keep saying the 2 that we have in the midfield need to be McAllisters. Need to be like McAllister from Liverpool. Somebody who's just sound at everything. McAllister, he's robust in a tackle. He's quick over the grass. He can pass the ball. He can shoot. He's just a decently well-rounded midfielder, McAllister. We need those sort of players in the middle of the park. Players who can run back, chase the ball down, tackle, but also can put their foot on the ball and pass it. We need 2 box-to-box midfielders, ideally, in that double pivot. Baleba, boom. Adam Wharton, boom. Adam Wharton's box-to-box. He can sit if you want him to sit, but he's box-to-box. He likes to get forward. Baleba, he can sit if he wants to sit, if you want him to, but once again, he can get forward. They can take in turns. Baleba goes forward, Wharton sits. Wharton goes forward, Baleba sits. Perfect. That's a dream for a lot of United fans. So none of this buying a midfielder who only does one thing. He only does tackles. Then buying the next one that only just passes. And then buying another midfielder. Listen, what we doing, bro? What we doing here? Camavinga over Baleba, says British Bulldog. Camavinga is all... Is it me? I feel like Camavinga is always injured, guys. I feel like when I watch a Camavinga play, and when he's good, he's an absolute baller, bro. He's an absolute baller. But sometimes I see Madrid use him as a right back. Sometimes I see Madrid use him as a left back. And I guess that's testament to how good he is. If you can be used in many positions, you're good. You're good. But it's a shame. I don't feel like he's held down a regular position. I feel like sometimes I rate him over I rate Tchouaméni. Personally. I would love Camavinga, but I don't know. Camavinga's injury record is a bit smelly, people. It's a bit smelly. But I don't believe this story. I'll put it up on the screen, but come on, people. You know, sometimes we can see a story, and obviously we're having a session right now, having conversation, talking about stuff. But I think we can all agree in the chat that we're not gonna get Camavinga, bro. Like, come on. We're not, let's just move on. Like, we're not getting Camavinga. But according to somebody, we're now considering presenting a proposal close to £70 million for Camavinga. If you believe that, then cool. Maybe I'm the one who's misunderstanding things, but and Team Talk is the source. The source is Team Talk. Yeah, guys. Yeah. TK says, how bad does Collier loan feel now? I wish we still had that. Collier. I don't think Collier is as good as you guys think he is. I think Toby Collier is not even as good as Scott McTominay. I don't think so. I don't think Toby Collier, and I hope I'm wrong, I don't think he has a future at Manchester United Football Club. I mean, Ugarte is not that good, and you can't get ahead of Ugarte. Casemiro's 30, whatever. He's an old man, and you can't get ahead of Casemiro. I don't know, guys. And he's been sent on loan. Yeah, I don't know about Collier, guys. If I'm being honest. Wendell agrees. He will take Camavinga over Baleba. Shivam said we should go for Hillman. He knows the system and can integrate fast. Camavinga is just another shady news. Shivam, I would go for Hillman, but are you happy about the fee that's being touted, which is around, I think they're saying 60 to 70 million euros for Hillman? Yeah, that's crazy, bro. These guys are taking a piss. And plus, how long do we have left? August the 19th, the window closes when, people? Was it the 1st of September? So what we saying? just under 2 weeks. Is that what we're saying, people? AP7, big up AP in the chat. Ain't Camavinga injury prone? Yeah, that's what I said, AP. I feel like every time I watch Madrid, I'm always hearing the commentator saying Camavinga's injured. Like, I'm like, bro, what's happened, man? Anyway, big up AP in the chat, people. I'm all good, bro. I'm all good. Just fluently must flex in my new shirt. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just, come on, come on. In other words, everybody, yeah, wishing they played for Man United. Everyone did a knee slide back in the day. Everyone has kissed a badge. Everyone has run to the corner of their room like they're celebrating on the pitch. Everyone's done that before. Everybody. So let's not pretend, people. Come on. That is dumb. That's stupid. Anyway, let's focus. Let's focus. Wendell says we need midfielders that's good on the ball. Amram system don't require a CDM. Yeah, I agree, Wendell. I agree with that. Hilvan Mason, guys, stop talking about Baleba. They don't want to sell him, so we have to get another player. That is true. They are not going to sell Baleba this year, so we do need another midfielder. The question is who? Who in the next 12, 13 days are we going to get? Because I think we need one. Guys, is it me, or are you a bit not scared? Isn't the right word, but yeah, not scared, worried that we wanted and we needed to beat Arsenal. We were 1-0 down against Arsenal, people, and the manager took off Casemiro, a defensive midfielder, and brought on another defensive midfielder. When I was thinking about, when I was doing my tactical analysis of the game, don't forget, guys, my tactical analysis video is up on the channel. Please go and check it out. But I was thinking, hold on a second, we wanted to win the game. We were 1-0 down. He took off Casemiro and he put on Ugarte, like for like. And he knows Casemiro is better on the ball than Ugarte. And we want to win the game. When he took off Casemiro and he brought on Ugarte. I don't know about the manager's substitutions, people. And if you are, I know not everyone likes Kobe Mainoo. Some people, already saying he should leave and all these things. I'm not one of those. But if you're Kobe Mainoo, what are you thinking, man? What are you thinking? I don't know, people. That's big up Hilvan though. New person to the chat. Make sure, make Hilvan feel good so he stays. Milton in the chat. Big up Milton all day. Adding 3 signings to the squad should have meant that the United team is stronger. I feel that Cunha and Mbeumo played well at times, and though United did not get a penalty, it was a goalkeeper error. Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you said there, Milton. We do look stronger. In my analysis video, I talk about why we weren't dominated in the midfield. I talk about the fact that we were playing Arsenal's 3-man midfield and we had a 2-man midfield, and everybody was expecting Arsenal to completely dominate us in that midfield. I explained why we weren't dominated even though we had a 2-man midfield. I explained the pros and the cons of that flexible front three. The pros, obviously, of having 3 number 10s is that those players, they fall back into that midfield area, overload that midfield area, whether it's Mount, Cunha or Mbeumo. We all saw them drop deep, pick the ball up, and at any given time, we essentially have 4 or 5 central midfielders in that area. Arsenal couldn't handle us. They couldn't dominate us on the ball because we overloaded that area. Also, what happens when we overload that area is that Arsenal, as you can see, if you watch the match back again, they get sucked in. So anytime listen, in that match here, we had loads of switches of play. We had Bruno dropping back into the defense sometimes, switching the ball from left all the way to Mbeumo to the right. We had Lenny Euro and Shaw doing that. We had Lenny Euro switching the ball all the way over to Dorgu. And the reason why that was possible is because we overloaded that midfield area. I like what I'm seeing so far with Amarim in the sense that he's prepared to be flexible. We never seen him do a fluid front three and play 3 10s before. We've never seen him do it. And that to me is a good thing. It shows that one of my complaints about Amorim last season was his inability to be flexible within his system. And he interpreted his system very rigidly. Already in the first game, we've seen 3-10s. That also means that, if you take up Mason Mount and put in a Xerxes, we can play the same kind of system. Fluid front three, 3-10s moving around. I would prefer, of course, Sesko, a target man. And I spoke about how, yes, having a fluid front three is good. Overload the midfield with your 3-10s, which is what we did. But then, as you guys can see in my tactical analysis, who's occupying the defense? Who's up front? If Cunha's dropping deep to pick the ball up and Bumo's dropping deep to pick the ball up, who's occupying these spaces? That's the drawback. So yes, more possession, overload the midfield, all these things, great. But how do we score now? How do we score? So every system has pros, every system has cons. I try to go through it in my tactical analysis, so check it out when you can, people. Let's go back to the chat quickly. Milton's, yep, TK. Camavinga's 20. Camavinga's only 22 still. Bro, Camavinga's been around for like 10 years. How's he 22? He has suffered 5 injuries in the last 12 months, says TK, limiting him to 19. The thing about young people with injuries, bro, you don't know where it's going to go. It can be, listen, they had the injuries when they were young. It's done now. They're growing, especially when players grow. I know, because I went from 5'10" to 6'5" in the space of 3 years. So when you grow, when your limbs grow, your knees, your ankles, all these things, your feet grows. People don't talk about this. When your foot grows, you have to change the way you play football. You've been kicking the ball, yeah, with your size 5 feet, yeah. So the way you fix your feet, when you're using the side of your feet, when you're using your laces, it's just fixed. But if your feet just grows 2 inches, bro, you have to adapt the way you fucking kick the ball. It's not an easy adaptation. So it could be some young teething problems or growing problems, or it could be, listen, this guy is already done. He's 22 and he's already done, bro. He's injured now, or was for 10 days, says AP7. Wendell says Adam Walton and Baleba, we win the league. Bro, with Adam Walton and Baleba, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, car. It's not even as if, like, they complement each other, but they don't need each other. You know what it's like? Bruno needs someone who's combative next to him, and Casemiro needs someone who can pass next to him to compensate and compensate and compensate. But when you got Adam Walton and Baleba, there's no compensate, bro. There's no compensate. There's just 2 ballers, and that's it. Just 2 ballers. Niche fan said liked. Niche fan, yeah, big up Niche fan in the chat as well. Sorry, no more stop gap players. Yeah, if he isn't going to be the player we win the league with, then Niche fan is not interested. And I think that's probably the mentality that we need to have. Stop these stopgap signings. Like, this has to be the signing for the next 7 years. Like, he needs to walk into the first team, basically. And if he's not doing that, then Wendell, yeah, Wendell's still having nightmares about the goalkeepers, bro. Wake up, Wendell, wake up. Wake up from your nightmare. Niche fans, it's obvious we are selling Camavinga. They're going for Baleba. Oh, Niche fan, he's gonna make us have more nightmares with that one. They're selling Camavinga because they're going for Baleba next year, Niche fan, or this year. What are you saying to me, bro? Milton says, Wiz, I feel that Ineos are thinking more about the Carrington upgrade. What do you mean, Milton? As in get money for it? Oh, Shivam says, you two look like a CM, bro, in that jersey, and look. Bro, ain't gonna lie, yeah. In my football days, yeah, I think CDM, defensive midfielder, was the last position I played. I started off as a striker. Bad boy striker. And then the older I got, yeah, I was just pushed down. And then I played as, because I was tall. And before I got tall, I was a striker. 5'8" kid running around, quick, this speedy, this nippy, this bang, left foot, right foot striker. But as I got older and as I got taller and I lost a bit of my pace, I just fell back into the defensive midfield. They put me in defensive midfield, bro. So I was just clamping guys, winning the ball, spraying the ball around. Yeah, man, my semi-pro days, bro. My semi-pro days. Wendell says, sell Ugarte for 40 million to the Saudis and get a world-class midfielder. Wendell, if you can sell Ugarte for 40 million pounds, bro, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't know if you can sell Ugarte for 20 million, bro. I don't know, fam. Milton says the Arsenal game was quite close. Milton, we were better than Arsenal in every way. I watched the game back again, and when you watch the game back again with no emotion, when you're not doing a watch along, and you get to see the shapes, you get to look at certain things you didn't notice, you get to study things. I watched the game back again, I'm like, Arsenal weren't good, bro. I'm not saying we were amazing, but we were better. And the reason why I'm optimistic is because even at Old Trafford, Arsenal are a better team than us. They play us off the park. And we're not gelling yet, bro. This is not it. This is not it. Sesko only came on for 20 minutes. These guys don't know each other. These guys still don't have a relationship. Ahmad's still not passing to Mbumo. Mbumo's not passing to Ahmad. These guys are still getting to know each other. And this is how decent we are playing already. The true test will be Fulham. Because I think TK said it, I think, best in the watch along. We sometimes do all right against the top teams. That's what TK said. But we don't really... It's the Fulhams. It's the mid-table teams. That's who we struggled against last year. So Fulham weekend, that'll be a test. Also, guys, Fulham in the weekend, we will see who he starts in goal. Because he said, I didn't start Onana because he hadn't played any pre-season games, blah, blah, blah. He's all these things, yeah. I just chose buying there. And, you know, Sesko didn't start either. But if he doesn't start Onana again 2 games in a row, what does that mean, guys? What does that mean? TK says, no, Niche, no, let's go up again. Niche fan, Amram is tactically inept. He needed to put Manu on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't understand why, when I look back at it, when I watched the game again, I was like, hold on a second. We want to score a goal. You take off Casemiro for Ugarte. Do you not know your players' qualities? The scariest thing about managers, yeah, is when you're watching a manager do things, yeah, that you know he shouldn't be doing. Or when you feel, yeah, that you know the players better than the manager. Like when a new manager comes in, right, and you've been watching these same players for 2-3 years, so you know what they're good at and you know what they're not good at. However, the new manager doesn't. So he has to go through the process of playing certain players, trial and error, and finding out about the players that you already know. And I feel like I just wish Amram can come and sit next to me and listen, Amram, you don't need to do this bullshit. I can tell you who's good and who's don't. Spend a year trying to find out about this player and trying to understand this. Listen, I've been watching these guys for a while. I can tell you that Bruno gives the ball away a lot, but he has a great right foot, a good cross, and he's good at shooting. But he gave the ball away for the corner that led to Bayinder's mistake. Once again, Europa League, Bruno gives the ball away, led to a goal. We lose the match. First game of the season, he's massively disgraced. Like the control, yeah, his first touch and that pass, yeah, that put Lenny Euro under pressure and the ball went out for a corner. Then we concede the only goal once again. So I could have told him that Bruno loses the ball a lot. You know? What is more worrying is that Arsenal played a real stinker and still got 3 points at Old Trafford. Even at their worst, we cannot beat Gunners. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. That's definitely one way to look at it, TK. Even at Arsenal's worst. Arsenal fans are out there saying that they can't play any worse than they played against us. They're out there saying that's the worst game we played in a long time and we still went to Old Trafford and we beat them. What narrative are you looking at? That's one narrative. That's a narrative out there. Or the other narrative is we stopped them from playing. As I described to you, they came here to play their game. You think Arsenal came here to sit back? No. Arsenal came here to bop us off the park. But we did not allow them to because of how we played. So, depends on how you're looking at it. Why don't we just Why don't we trust Manu? We keep wasting talents. At least get bag of pounds to spend. Do you mean why don't we sell him, Shivam, or trust him? I think it's too soon to sell a 19-year-old. I feel like you never know what they're going to become. I feel like I need to wait until he's 21, 22, until he grows into a man, grows into his body, until he stops growing in general. And, that's when I'll be like, okay, we could sell him. I feel like selling Kobe mainly now when we don't really know what he could become and he's still a talented kid. I don't know. But maybe that's not what you meant, Shivam. I don't think you meant that. Milton says, I can't help feeling that United fans see the true way the team is playing, but those who run the club are watching another thing. Milton. Wendell could have sold Bruno to Saudis for 120 million. Was a perfect time to sign Baleba and Wharton. Wendell, what you said about Bruno being sold, that's going to be a thread that runs through the whole season, bro. For the whole season, we're going to hear, what if we sold Bruno? Not because Bruno's not good. I want to be clear. We're not talking about how good Bruno is. We're talking about the fact he doesn't fit the system, bro. Bruno, for me, has never been a 10. To be a number 10, a proper number 10, you have to be able to dribble. All these midfielders like Frank Lampard, Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, that all claim to be number 10s, bro. I don't like that number 10. To me, they're just 8s that play further forward, bro. And number 10 is your best. A number 10 is a player who can dribble with the ball, carry the ball. He can go left, he can go right, he can shoot. Amad Diallo is more of a number 10 than Bruno Fernandes is. Like, obviously, your best 10s are your Messis, your Ronaldinhos, your Neymars. Those are all 10s. Your 10s are your supremely talented players. Mamouche is a 10. Cherky's a 10. Bruno's an 8. And we don't really play with 8s. We play with 10s that have to play with their back to goal, and Bruno can't do that. Or box-to-box midfielders. And I don't know, guys. I don't like Bruno in the double pivot. And I don't really like him in the 10. We've got Mbumo and we have Cunha and other players who play that role better. So I would have sold Bruno, as Wendell said, taken that money, bought Baleba, boom, bam, Bob's your uncle, your auntie's brother, and then we're all good. But no. And I get it. Maybe Amorim, he needs the Portuguese guys to keep control of the dressing room and keep control. He needs people like Bruno on his side, and it's helpful. Him, Dallo, he needs those sort of players. And because we're going through a transition, maybe he felt like he just couldn't get rid of his captain this year. Maybe. But I hear you, Wendell. I hear you. Niche fan says, I want Mount and Manu in the pivot, high energy and press resistant. I want Cunha, Xerxes and Brian rotating them. Do you know what? A lot of people are now talking about Mount in the pivot because he runs a lot and he's got high energy. So I kind of understand that. But to play in the pivot, it's not just about high energy. Like, Mount is going to get just muscled off the ball as well. You've got to be strong. And Mount isn't strong on the ball. Not really. But based on his high energy, I understand why you want him there in that double pivot. He's got decent passing range as well, Mount. So, listen, I'm open to ideas. If the man just starts Mason Mount there, I would be like, what the... But then I'll be like, okay, let's see. Let's see what happens here. Shivam says, let Anthony rot. We can't be held as a club to please these bad players. Anthony needs to go to Saudi as Betis don't even want to play. Bro, all right, let's talk about Anthony then. Because this Anthony stuff is getting crazy, people. It is weird what Betis are trying to do. Anthony's agent have once again informed Man United that he only wants to return to Betis. Fine, that's great. The club is pushing hard and making a significant effort. A loan and purchase or shared ownership are their proposals. The ball is in the English club's court. There is optimism. We are negotiating with the poorest club, I feel like, in the world, bro. That's how I feel. I feel like this guy wants to go to Betis, who can't afford him. And there are other clubs who can afford him, and he's not interested. He's too emotional, I think. He's fallen in love with a club that he was only there for like 6 months or something. Or maybe, I think, was it the whole year? It doesn't matter. He's fallen in love with that one club that he was being there for a very short period of time. He's not interested in going anywhere else apart from this one club. Why? Why, Anthony? And now these guys are trying to approach United saying, can we own the player together? Bro, 2025. What are we doing? Can we own the player to get out, man? You know the ones you just tell the man to get out. Just get out. Get out my house. Don't even ask me those stupid questions. Can we own the player together? Fuck right off, you. Fuck right off. What does that mean? What? Bro, these guys must think this is, what is this? Championship Manager, FIFA 95. I don't know what these men think it is, bro. Anyway, breaking. Real Betis have proposed either a loan or joint ownership deal worth around 20 million for Anthony. Joint ownership would mean United keeping a big percentage of any future sale. Oh, guys, I'm done. I have to do it because it's the news, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm mentally done with the outgoing stuff. It doesn't give me a buzz. It doesn't do anything. It's just like, oh, you guys are still here. Like, man, I got to report on this again. We got to talk about this again on the channel. Yeah. Walton Beleba is fantasy land. Mount Amenu works perfectly. All right, and these fans into Mount Amenu. All right. Milton said the stars and potential are Lenny Yoro, Cunha, and Mbumo, and the potential of Sesko. I agree with that one. Hiven Mason, big up Hiven. Man, I just can't understand this player like Anthony. Listen, all right, you know me. I try my best to do the whole, let's look at the big picture and let's look at the player's perspective. But I'm not in the mood to do that today. I'm not in the mood to show the empathy, to empathize. Yeah. No. So Anthony, at the end of the day, you want to play football and you need to play football. Whether it's Real Betis, whether it's Real Sociedad, whether it's whether the Athletic Bilbao, whether it's Napoli, these are all decent clubs. Just play for one of them. You'll do well, bro. Like, there's nothing that Betis have over any of these clubs, bro. Like, what are they promising you, Anthony? What are Real Betis gonna, like, do you get a foot massage every day or something? Like, I don't understand what this is. Anyway, it is what it is. Wendell Tanisha is not fantasy land. The club loves to hold on to old mediocre players. Milton says, Wiz, did you ever get... Yeah. I mean, it's a story for a lot of people, bro. Like, I had trials for Fulham under 12s. Under 12s? Under 11s. It's either under 11s or under 12s. How old was I? I was just starting secondary school. So it was under, I don't know, Fulham's, not a success. And then I went to Charlton Athletic. Where were they? I think at that time they were like a championship club or something. I went there, spent like 6 months with their junior side, then left. So I'm not gonna lie, people. Like, I could have made it, but at the same time, I don't think I could have made it because I don't think I had the mental discipline required to make it. Like, I never, like, to play football, you got to put thousands and thousands of hours into this, doing anything. If you want to be able to control the ball, thousands of hours in your back garden, just put in hours. Yeah, that's how you just have to do it. The amount of repetition, you have to do. You got to do something 100,000 times over and over again. My brain can't do that. Like, I get bored easily in training. When the coach is telling me to do something over and over again, I'm like, fuck this shit. I want to play a match. Fuck this shit. I want to play a match. I didn't have the mental discipline, I don't think, to really push myself to the next level. I just wanted to play football and be free and have fun. I I'm that kind of baller, yeah, that wants to play with a smile on my face and doesn't want to do the serious stuff. That was me. Like once I start understanding how much running you had to do in men's football, once I start understanding that football is fun, but it's grueling. It is grueling. It is tiring. It is physically. That's part of it. I'm like, oh man, I just want to do the fun stuff, bro. I just want to nutmeg somebody and smash in the top corner. I just didn't. Now looking back, I wish I was more serious, but it is what it is, man. I'm an old man now. You know, you can't just look back and be angry at stuff. You got to move on with your life, man. Wendell, we can't afford Baleba and Wharton. Wendell said, niche fan, we sell Bruno for 120. We could. Conversations. But we rejected. Cool. Possibly. Mbumo is driving to get a shot in, or he doesn't get an opportunity to pass. Yeah, and Mbumo and Ahmad need to work on their relationship for sure. I think you guys already said it. I've said it in my tactical analysis video as well. Cool. Yeah, the thing about buying there, Milton, is that yeah, that was the one mistake he made all game. But unfortunately, it was a goal. And I still think that was a foul on the goalkeeper. I honestly do. Adishina John, big up Adishina John in the chat. Why don't we try Dallo in the middle with Kobe? Oh, Adishina, I'm not gonna lie, guy. I don't like that idea at all. Diogo Dallo in central midfield with Kobe. Not for me. Not for me. Dallo is not a midfielder, bro. Like he doesn't have the, to play midfield, you got to do the mirrors. You got to have your head on a swivel. You got to be like before the ball even gets to you. When the ball's coming to you, and then you got to control it. Dallo's not going to be doing that. Dallo's passing range for me is not great either. No, Dallo in central midfield. Oof. Adishina, thanks for joining the chat, but I'm not sure on that one, mate. I'm not sure on that one. Yeah, me from Bruno's never been a 10. Best 10s in the world are Cherki, Yamal, Wirtz, Dembele. Niche fan, that's what I don't really get the central midfielder playing. I don't really get the number 8s are 10s now. I've never understood the whole De Bruyne is a 10. When everyone tried to tell me De Bruyne is a 10, I'm like, I guess so. He plays in the number 10 position. So I guess he's the 10. But I'm like, De Bruyne is he's a Beckham regen. De Bruyne is a right-sided midfielder in midfield three. De Bruyne is in a midfield three. You have the guy at the base of the midfield. You have De Bruyne and you have someone else there. That's De Bruyne. He's not a 10, bro. When I think of 10s, I think of the players that you stated. I think of players who can do everything. Right? Attacking wise. You have to be able to dribble and carry the ball, in my opinion, to be a 10. David Silva was a 10. More of a 10 than De Bruyne was. For me, anyway. But one matter. Ozil. I mean, I don't know, man. Football's interpreted different ways, man. Give us 50 million and we can own him together. I love British Bulldog, Give us 50 M's and we can own. I don't mind that. I'll take that deal, British Bulldog. Because this joint owners, bruv, I wanna shake Betis. I just wanna get a wet fish, like a cartoon. Get a wet fish, slap, shake, and then go, now come again. What's the deal? And then can we buy him for 40 million, please? That's better. See, you can do it. Now go to your bank and give us some money. That's what we need to do to Betis, because they're taking the piss. Less than 2 weeks away now, people. And who we sold? Who have we sold? Anyway, your favorite. Benjamin Jacobs. Alejandro Garnacho turned down an approach from Bayern today as he waits for Chelsea. Garnacho has already agreed terms with Chelsea. We know that already. United insisted in 50 million. Already, United are citing Noni Madueke's 48 plus £4 million move to Arsenal as a yardstick. I love that, bro. Man United are basically saying, listen, you sold a player for £52 million. You did, Chelsea. So our player that you're about to buy is worth just as much as that same player that you've sold. Don't fuck with us. Stop doing it. Give us your money. Give us the money. And what's fun side about this situation, and I've asked the chat this as well. If you are Garnacho and you think you're the shit, yeah? You think your shit doesn't smell. You think it smells like roses. And you think you are the shit, right? That's what Garnacho thinks. And you want to go to Chelsea. Cool, that's fine. But then you hear Chelsea only value you at 25 million. Why would you be happy about that? Like, if I'm Garnacho and I'm like, what? Hold a second. The club that wants to buy me value me at 25 million. Do they rate me or not? Do they rate me or not? They keep promising they're going to get the deal done, and a week and a half left and the deal hasn't happened yet. At what point does Garnacho start thinking about himself and start thinking, rah, Chelsea are taking a piss. Nobody rates me. Because that's what I'll be thinking. Anyway, what's next? Because I'm pretty sure the next tweet is about the fee. Yeah. So, like I said in the last, what is this? Carve from Sky. We love some Carve from Sky. No, we don't. But he's said that Chelsea believe Garnacho is worth around £25 million, bro. I don't understand, bro. If you are the player and you're seeing all of these other players, yeah, that you're supposed to be better than go for 50, and you have this club trying to get listen, you're only 20 years old. You're a kid. You've got a good 10 years at least, and they only think you're worth 25 million. And you're left out of the United team, United squad. You can't come back. You've been left out of the Argentina team as well. Argentina squad. Who's advising this guy? His brother? Yes, we know. But I don't know, man. This thing is just, can I say it? I'm not even going to try to be articulate. I'm going to say this thing is just dumb. You know, it's just like, I can't be bothered to even use smart words anymore. This thing is just dumb. It's dumb. Could Anthony even play in the present team? Bro, Milton, the one thing I understand about some of these players who are trying to get away, yeah, trying to move off Milton, is that some of them are not being moved up because they're rubbish footballers, bro. Because we have worse footballers in our team. Like, I've said it already. We finished 15th, yeah, and nobody in the chat, yeah, not one of you will convince me that we would have finished 15th if we had Sancho, Anthony, and Rashford on the bench to come on us. Imagine having all of those three on the bench, and when Garnacho's playing rubbish, we can put one of those players on. We wouldn't have finished 15th. Those players, whether they're toxic and we wanted to get them out, whether they were on way too much wages and we want to get them out, all of those players we want out for various different reasons. So I don't want to lump them all in one category. Some of them just weren't cutting it. Garnacho fell out with a manager. Sancho fell out with the previous manager and fell out with the club and the fan base. So he's just hot. Rashford, inconsistent, on high wages. Sancho on high wages. All sort of different reasons why we want them out. But I know if we had put, I wouldn't say our pride to the one side, but whatever it is, if you had put it to the side, I don't think we'd have finished 15th if we kept those players. Even if we don't start them, have them in the squad, have them on the bench. I'm not saying we should have done that either. I'm not saying we should have. I'm saying if we had those players to bring on the bench against Tottenham, against all these teams that we lost. I don't think we would have finished 15th. So, and I'm also somebody that remembered Anthony, that he wasn't that good, right, at United, but when he played right wing back with Ahmad, those 2 games or 3 games we saw Anthony play right wing back with Ahmad, he was he was good. It's just that we spent 89 million pounds for him, and we did not spend 89 million pounds for him to play wing back. We didn't. So so that it is what it is, people. Um, but anyway, Adishina John talking about Dallo, building a case for him being in the midfield. I hear you, Adishina. I get what you're saying, but like I said, for me, probably not, if I'm being honest. Niche fan, you like Eden Hazard. All you want to do is play the match. Bro, Eden Hazard, yeah, was an absolute baller. He's a number 10. He is a number 10. That's what I'm talking. When I talk about number 10s, that's what I'm talking about. Like, yes, Eden Hazard played on the wings because we don't understand number 10s. We don't know where to play them, right? We often play our number 10s out wide because they can dribble. You know, the João Felixes and all these guys, they play out wide because they can dribble. Bro, just because you can dribble, like, no, they play everywhere. Let them be free. Jack Grealish, play him out wide because he can dribble. Bro, it's weird, bro. It's weird. Eden Hazard was the guy, bro. I used to hate playing Chelsea when Eden Hazard was there, bro. I hate it. This guy just never lost the ball. The ball stuck to his feet like glue. This guy had a beautiful centre of gravity, ball control, first touch. It was just fake. Eden Hazard was just fake. Proper number 10 Eden Hazard. And thing is about it, players like Hazard and players like him who don't get loads of stats, right? In today's day and age, those players will be absolutely rubbed out. If Eden Hazard was playing now, people will be saying, oh, he's got good flicks, he's skillful, he gets past players, but how many goals does he get? How many assists does he get? He doesn't get loads of goals. If Ronaldinho was playing right now, and Ronaldinho was not a player known to get loads of goals, Ronaldinho wasn't getting 40 goals and assists in no season, never, and he never will. But if he was playing now, people will be saying, just like Neymar, oh, he's just about skills, and he doesn't get any goals, he doesn't get any assists. I'm like, bro, the goals and assist stuff, yeah, those 2 stats have totally fucked up the way a lot of people now see football. And it's sad for me. It's sad. That's why it's not beautiful anymore to watch. That's why it's not, in my opinion, anyway. Anyway, I'm going off topic a little bit. People like Hazard don't even train. This is what I'm saying. Like, someone like Hazard, yeah, you can tell, yeah, in training he's shit. You can tell some players, yeah, that in training they're so good, yeah, that when it comes to training they don't care. They don't really do anything, and but in the matches they're sick. They're sick. Hazard comes across that kind of guy that in training, let's leave him alone. Just leave him alone, because he will show up on match day. Like a Cantona. In training, leave Cantona alone. On a match day, you make sure you put him in a team because he will show up. He will. That's why when people say, oh, people don't try hard in training, don't work hard in training and all these, I'm like, bro, there's been many a player, yeah, that when it comes to training, they're not on it. And they still get picked. Imagine if you made it, we wouldn't have this channel to come to. This way we're all winners. You're funny, TK. But you're right. You're right. It would be very selfish of me if I made it, bro. Imagine if I made it and I didn't have this channel for you guys. It's not serious, is it? Very selfish. So I'm glad I failed. Bro, my knees hurt today, bro. My knees still hurt. Like, I grew too quickly, bro. My growth spurt was just crazy. Milton says the reality is, for say 10 million or 20 million, it's extremely difficult in present market. Maybe Phil Lemens fits. The thing about Milton, I haven't actually seen a lot of Lemens. I'm going off by what everyone is telling me about Lemens. So I'm not going to lie. but I'll take him by what everyone has said about him. I will. I would. Real Betis, I like going shopping with wallet and cars at home. Bro, yeah, that's what Real Betis are like. Oh no, and they did it on purpose. You know the ones where let's go shopping and then you leave your wallet and shit at home and then you get to the place and you're like, oh, do you know, I forgot my stuff. Oh, can you get? No, you did it on purpose, didn't you? You left your shit on purpose. That's what Betis are doing right now. All right. British Bulldog said no, we would have been 19th if we had these guys on the bench. Yeah, I disagree, but so we're so far off. None of our players are close. My best 11 in world football now would be Donnarumma, Nuno Mendes, Virgil, Marquinhos, Hakimi, bro. I've always liked Hakimi, bro. I'm glad that we're seeing the best of Hakimi now at PSG, bro. I've always liked Hakimi. Baleba, all right. Baleba gets in your best 11 in the world right now. Reinders, Wirtz, Yamal, Cherky, that's a good team, though. I do like that team, Niche fan. That's a sick team, though. He said the game is all about GA. It's completely... Yeah, I miss football, bro. This robotic... Like I said, when the nerds... And listen, I don't hate nerds. I think nerds are cool. But when the nerds started controlling football rather than the people, who played football, when they got a hold of football and they just dash loads of stats at us, stats and do all these and GA and XG and GA and XG and all these things, and we stopped watching football. I don't need to watch football to find out who played well. I can just look at the stats. I don't need to pay attention to the match while it's going on. I can just wait to find out the stats, who scored, who got the assist, and based on who scored and who got the assist, there will be my man of the match. So, Bruno scored and got an assist. I don't care if he played shit today. He scored a penalty and he got the assist, so I'm going to give him the man of the match. When football became like that, I'm like, nah. When we did the whole, let's give the Ballon d'Or to Messi because he got 50 GA. Let's give it to Ronaldo because he got 50 GA. Let's give it back to Messi. Let's give it back to Ronaldo. For about 10 years, we did this. Messi, Ronaldo, 50 GA. When we stopped watching these guys play football and we started saying, let's give it to him because he got 50 GA. I was like, hold on a second. When did we do this? R9 didn't get the Ballon d'Or because he had the most goals. Ronaldinho never won the Ballon d'Or because he scored the most goals. Kaká never won the Ballon d'Or because he scored the most goals. When nobody wins the Ballon d'Or because they scored the most, when is that a thing? It's never really been a thing until Ronaldo and Messi started passing it between each other. The GA madness, that's when the GA madness started, people, in my opinion. And now, nobody wants to watch football. Nobody wants to see who's good on the ball, who's a good footballer. Just get some goals, get some assists. That's it, stat pad. And now footballers are now playing football on the pitch to get these GA rather than playing as a team. There are some footballers that know that GA will make them look good, so they change the way they play so they get the GA. It's not beneficial for the team, but it's beneficial for them. I've seen it. So that's just my opinion. Anyway, I'm sidetracking. Let's quickly wrap up, people. 8:30. Man United consider Joshua Zirkzee not for sale this summer, says Fabrizio. Decision made by the board and Ruben Amorim months ago. Never in talks with any Italian club. Yeah, I think we all know this. Early on in the season, we were nervous about Zirkzee. He was booed off, scapegoated, and Man United fans, they love a scapegoat. That's not Man United fans. Let me just be honest. That's humans. Human beings, we're not good at nuance. We're not good at directing our anger at the right place. We get angry and then we focus our anger on one player because it's easier to do that. You can see that person focus. So he got booed off. Everyone thought it was done. He came back, and then in the space of 2 weeks, we hear, "Oh, Joshua Zirkzee. Oh, Joshua Zirkzee." And that's really classy. I'm glad the United fans did that because he didn't deserve to get booed off. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just the one person that the manager decided to take off. And now, he's become like a fan favourite. It's quite interesting what's happened with Zirkzee. I've always rated Zirkzee. He needs time. I always like to remind people, if you're new to the league, give that player time. Just give him some time to get used to the league. We all need that. All the players need that. And the longer the season went on, the better he became. He actually became a lot more physical. If you pay attention to sort of his matches later on in the season, he was getting stuck in. He was pushing and, muscling people off the ball. I was like, okay, Joshua. Listen, Joshua Zirkzee's two issues, for me, that will make him a much better footballer. Pace. We know the Premier League loves pace. Unfortunately, Zirkzee, once he gets going, because he's a tall guy, he's got a decent pace. He doesn't have the acceleration. He's not rapid. He doesn't have a burst of pace. If he had that, he will be so sick because his close control and his dribbling is good. Second, shooting. He shoots like he's scared of the ball. Joshua Zirkzee shoots with the inside of his foot. Watch how Joshua Zirkzee shoots. Strikers, they slap it with the laces or they slap it with the instep, right? Zirkzee shoots like he's passing the ball with the side of his feet. Strikers don't shoot like that. Joshua, why are you shooting? Why are you shooting like that, Joshua? Those are the two biggest areas. And for a striker, for me not to have confidence in a striker's finishing, it's a problem. But I like Zirkzee. Other than that, I think he's a good footballer. He's a good facilitator. And I wish him all the best. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. I still don't feel like Zirkzee is the manager's typical profile of striker that he wants. But he offers something different. He's a different profile. And I've said I'd rather keep Zirkzee as the second option up front, who offers something completely different, than another striker similar to Sesko, i.e. Højlund, who offers something similar. We need variation, and I'm glad the manager is starting to see that he needs variation in his approach. Front three, fluid front three, all number 10s, good. That shows you got variation. It shows that you can adapt. Good. So, anyway, Napoli want to sign Rasmus Højlund and Raheem Sterling on loan this summer, says Fabrizio Romano. I don't know if you guys will want a loan deal for Højlund. I've said this before. I would prefer a sale. I would prefer a sale of the player. Sorry. However, he's still young. You can still improve. I would be open to a loan. I would be. I wouldn't be angry with a loan and he comes back, because who knows what might happen in that year? Who knows? Who knows what happens in the year that Sesko is here? So I'd be open to a loan deal for Rasmus, if I'm being honest. TK said, just glad we haven't talked about Sancho. Oops. Jerry said, TK, who's Jadon Sancho? Jerizzle, big up Jerry, man, in the chat. Big up Jerry. How long before Lamar wins it? The Ballon d'Or. Good point. Next year. I mean, Dembele came out of nowhere, and everyone thinks Dembele is going to win it this year. When I'm trying to think who could win it, who's out there? Who's out there right now? I guess it also depends on how well Barcelona do, right? But he could win it. Listen, I'm still betting, on Mason Greenwood being in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or. Like, if we're doing the GA thing, then he'll be in the conversation. But to be honest, even if we don't do the GA thing, I think he's good enough to be in a conversation. He's probably good enough to be in a conversation this year. But I think the politics with Greenwood means they might not consider him. But yeah, don't rule out Mason. Don't rule out Greenwood, people. For the Ballon d'Or. Have we read this already? No, maybe not. Napoli had direct contact with Man United today following Romelu Lukaku's injury, as he'll be out more than 3 months. Oh, shame, Lukaku. Wish you well, bro. Napoli asked for loan deal conditions for Rasmus Højlund. Man United want to keep Zirkzee. No talks despite links today. So that's why the Xerxes stuff is coming out. The Xerxes stuff today is coming out clearly because there's been contact made and the inquiries made for Joshua Xerxes. That's why Xerxes stuff. So I'm thinking, why is Xerxes stuff coming out randomly? Okay, that's why. And a lot of people online are now talking about Xerxes. We haven't seen him yet. That's one thing that we haven't seen, Xerxes with the two new players. I can't wait. I hope the manager does give it a go. I hope we don't have to wait long, to see Xerxes, Cunha, and Mbumo link up. I think it will be fire, people. I hope it is anyway. On paper, football's not played on paper, but on paper, it should work. All right, what's going on here, people? All right, I think this is just an update on, before we go, an update on Kone's injury. This kid, man, I just hope that this injury that he's got, is not too serious, bro. Whoa. All right, let's see what's going on with Kone, because he might have to mask up like Osimhen. It looks like an update on the health of Kone after the head injury he suffered against Tamworth. That's good. Kone clashed heads while trying to clear a corner. Clashing heads, bro. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Clashing heads, it is not cool, bro. I've done it before. It is not cool at all. In some ways, I'm glad I don't play football anymore. But anyway, he was released the following morning after responding well. Good. It can be now revealed that Kone fractured his eye socket in the collision, and he will have a scan this week to assess the extent of the damage to his orbital bone. Man, when little kids like Kone get injured, bro, it reminds me of how old I am. I'm approaching my 40s. Yeah. And these guys are what, 16, 17? These guys are kids to me. These guys are old enough to be my sons. Yeah. Of course, if I had them at 20 or something. So yeah, man, just get well, man. Don't rush him back. If he has to wear a mask, wear that mask. Make it look sick, because that mask looks good. Like, fuck it. He's 19. He's 19. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I thought Kone was about 17. If he's 19 and he's not if he's 19 and he's not fully knocking the door on the first team, send him on loan, guys. Obviously now it's not easy to do that. It probably won't be possible. But Kone needs to go somewhere where he gets kicked. Championship, perhaps, but all right. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Now that I've understood what I've said, he doesn't need to. Man got hit in the head and got concussed, and I've just said he needs to go somewhere where he can get kicked. But you guys understand what I mean, yeah? You understand what I mean? He needs to go somewhere, because I feel like he's a bit lightweight. Technically, he's good, but he's just a bit lightweight. But anyway, best of luck. Kone is on the mends. I think he'll be fine. We'll probably have to wear a mask for a while, but it's nothing that's going to impact his footballing career for a long time, I don't think. So that's updates on Kone. I wish him luck. Casemiro has also spoken after the Arsenal game, just to finish, people, and he's come out and he said, Man United always has to think about the victory. I'm not going to say that losing is okay. We have to win. Man United always has to win. I think we have shown good moments and we have played much better, but we have to look for the victory. We are on the right path now. We have a good connection, and that's the path we are taking. All good, positive stuff. Listen, Cass, you ain't got the legs, bro. Your legs are gone. But other than that, how many Champions Leagues? Was it 4? 4 Champions League medals? 3 Spanish league title? Like, the most decorated footballer, arguably, that we've had at the club for a long time at least, right? What a professional, what a baller. It's a shame that we got him towards the end of his career, but I'm always saying this to people. Just because you can't make it in the pace and power Premier League, it doesn't mean you are done. I think too many people say that you're done when you can't make it in the Premier League, or you're not doing well in the Premier League if you don't have the necessary athleticism, speed, or power. They say you're done. And I'm like, listen, bro, there's other leagues. There's other leagues, bro. There are other leagues. And some of these players, like Vitinha, yeah, he was at Wolves. Vitinha, who was at Wolves, didn't do well. Couldn't handle the pace and power of this league. Now gone to PSG, won the Champions League with PSG, balling out in their midfield, and he's making it. So he doesn't have the legs for this league for sure. It's too quick for him. But I've always liked Casemiro. What a footballer and what a professional. Anyway, guys, I think we are coming towards the end of the show. I'm not gonna lie, I've got a headache and I am overly tired today. So today was a bit of a tired show. But last tweet from Zexy, a bit more positive news to end the show. Zexy has also spoken, and he said that the group for me is just, I don't know, there's such a good vibe. Why do they need to quote him word for word, bro? We could take some of these words out, but we know what he's saying. But anyway, we are all invested in something. You can really tell that we really want to make sure that we are not doing what we did last season. Good, good. Also, outside the pitch, there's some good vibes. There is. The fan base is feeling all right. There's some good vibes in the fan base, so he's right there. We're doing a lot of team bonding. Good. I feel we're much closer than we were last season, and hopefully we can translate all of that onto the pitch and share it with you, the rest of the world who's supporting United. the way he speaks. Pre-season, guys, basically, I think the fact that Amorim had them for pre-season, and not only pre-season, don't forget pre-season, you're going to sleep and you're waking up next to your teammates. Like, during the season, you go home every day, right? Unless there's a away game and you might stay at a hotel for one night. But other than that, you just go home every day. In pre-season, you're spending a whole month, yeah, in America. And not only training with each other, then going home, you're training with each other, then you're going to eat with each other. And if you're in America and you're going to see the city, you're going to go with your Man United colleagues. So the bonding is absolutely insane in pre-season. And we didn't have that under Amorim last season for obvious reasons, right? Because we only came in after Ten Hag was sacked. So I think that's a very important part of it. Just being there with the lads all day, every day for a whole month. Yeah, it's definitely helped, I think. Anyway, that's positive news for Xerxes. I think we are getting towards the end, guys. I'm going to quickly read your comments, read the chat before we wrap up. TK's cool, Jerry, yep. Also, guys, I think what we're going to see, yeah, likes of Yamil, I will say it wrong, Lamine Yamal, yeah, at 16, the Arsenal guy at 15. I think, and I've said this before, because football is becoming so much more of a young man's game and so much more athletic, we're going to have kids now playing. We're going to have 16-year-olds starting. We're going to have 15. We're going to have 17. We're going to have more of those sort of young players, I think, starting and playing. Maybe it's just a hunch, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we are heading in the future. Niche fan says, Baleba is that perfect Prem player, hard as you like, powerful, athletic, quick, high Q, excellent in the duel, fantastic awareness. I'd have a midfield of 3 Balebas. Niche fan, he's that one midfielder, yeah, that every United fan, listen, the United fan base is toxic as hell. We know this. All these factions, these type of people don't like this type of people, all these things. Bro, everybody united and said, yes, give us Baleba. Baleba's that one signing, yeah, that nobody said no to. Nobody. The Ultra Reds, the Super Reds, the Mini Reds, Big Reds, Small Reds. Everyone agreed. Baleba is a baller. Milton says, question, has Onana injury healed even? That's a good question, Milton. another question I want to ask is, even if it has healed, does he start against Fulham? That's a question, really. Does he start? Because he's been back from injury and he's been training, apparently, and he didn't start. Niche fan said Rooney was already 16. So we've been already doing this. And I'm pretty sure Pele was like 16, 17 anyway. I guess if you're good enough and you're young enough, you start anyway. So Niche fan is just basically saying that we've been having young kids play football in the Premier League anyway. It's nothing new. No, people. Before we go, we have to just, every transfer window for the past 4 years, we have been linked with this player. So this is just part of our, I wouldn't say religion, but this is what we do. Every year, we have to say no to Agent Rabiot. Rabiot, even if it's 2 million, even if it was £10, bro, we don't want you. Every summer, bro, Adrian Rabiot. Every summer, these links come around. No, bro. No. And that's all I have to say. Guys, smash the like if you are. I'm sorry, smash the like if you can. Please. I do have my tactical analysis video up for you guys to watch. So yeah, guys, my tactical analysis where I break down the Arsenal versus Manchester United game is only 20 minutes long. Just put it on 1.5 speed and just put it on in the background. Smash a like on it, comment on it. These tactical analysis videos actually do decently. My last video had about 5,000 views. One before that had about 3,000 views. So people do watch them and comment and they like them. So let's see if we can get more people watching these videos, these tactical. I think you guys will like them. Maybe not. Like I said, I speak quite slowly. So put it on 1.25 speed to speed it up. And yeah, check it out. Like the video, share it. On this channel, I try to do a lot of things. We do our match reactions. We do our watch-alongs. We do our previews. We do our daily shows. And we're also going to do tactical analysis and breakdowns. There aren't many YouTubers that do all of them. There are the YouTubers that just focus on tactical analysis, the Scarlet Reports, and all of these people that do just the analysis. And of course, there are YouTubers that do watch-alongs and match reactions. I'm doing both. I'm doing the match reactions, I'm doing the watch-alongs, but I'm also taking time to tactically break down what I'm seeing. I'm not one of those YouTubers that does bare shouting, and I can do it. I think I'm very creative, I'm very animated, but I'm also quite a deep thinker. Very, very deep thinker, and I like to break things down tactically. So I like to do both. So check it out. Support your boy. We're here. We're on a journey together. Let's push this together. And the more you guys are interacting, the more you guys are pushing it, the more you guys are liking. Look, I've gained 3 more subscribers today. And it's all because of you guys in the chat. Pushing my stuff, liking my stuff. So, I'm almost close to 500, as you guys can see. Every day it's going up. We're moving and we're making progress together as a community, people. Together as a community. And that is what I'm happy about. I'm proud of, bro. Like, I don't want every session to be emotional, but I like this, man. I like you guys. I like the community that we're building. So big up all of you. Big up yourself, all of you. I'm tired as hell, so I need to end the stream. Jerry, TK, Niche Fan, Turklish, Milton, BB, of course BB, and all the new guys like Adi Sheena. Make sure you come again. Wendell, of course, Hilvern, Mason. Big up yourself, Mason, bro. Make sure you come back again, man. Same time tomorrow, people. AP, big up yourselves. Have a good Tuesday. Have a good evening. Smash like on this video as well on your way out. As usual, guys, when the video is finished, if you want to, just leave a comment on the video when it's no longer live as well. That will help promote the video. So big up yourselves, man. I'm really grateful. Thank you for all the support, and I'll see you